Good morning. Welcome to 30 minutes of gentle chair yoga. Today we are going to be working on hand to the big toe pose. Now don't be intimidated by the name. If you can't touch your big toe with your hand, with your legs straight, you're going to use a strap. So today we're going to use a strap. If you don't have a strap, a bathrobe belt will work, a exercise band, or even a hand towel can work to extend the reach of your arm. We will also be using two chairs and either a wall or some piece of sturdy furniture like a couch or a dresser that you can put the chair against so it doesn't slide. A wall though is best. So to start today, we're going to come forward to the front edge of the seat of the chair so that just your sits bones are on the chair and the back of your thigh is free. Then you're going to bend your right knee and reach down and grab the big toe. So when you grab the big toe, you're going to put your first two fingers to the inside of the toe and wrap the thumb around. And then from here, see if you can straighten the leg. All right? If you have difficulty straightening the leg or grabbing the toe in this way, you can grab the outside of the foot and straighten the leg that way. Or if you have that yoga belt or some other prop, you can grab the foot with the belt and extend the leg out straight. You do want to hold whatever prop you're using for this as close to the foot as possible and have straight arms. Now, if even this much is a challenge for you, there is another version you can do with two chairs. So you're sitting in one chair. You can have a second chair in front of you and simply rest the foot on the chair and hold the belt. You can make this a little bit more challenging by placing a yoga block on the seat of the chair. And taking the foot up a little bit higher. You can even turn the chair around and use the back of the chair to rest your foot on. All right, so let's try that on the second side. So I'm going to take this from easiest to most challenging. For the right side or the left side now, you can just have your left foot on the seat of the chair and wrap your strap around the foot. Or you can place a block underneath that heel sitting up straight. And if you can go even farther than that, maybe turn that block up to the next height. Again, walking your hands as close to the belt or as close to the foot as possible on the belt. Then you might be able to take your foot all the way to the back of the chair. You might need to turn the chair around to do this. And you can always put a blanket or a folded sticky mat on top of the back of the chair so it's more comfortable for your heel. So here we are. And then the pose without support would be to first with the belt. That's a little bit easier. You don't have to reach as far. here. I'm going to show this one from the side. So I'm just reaching the left foot away from me and holding onto the belt, lifting the chest. And then if I were to do the pose with no props other than the chair, I would grab the big toe or the outside of the foot and straighten the leg, or holding on to the big toe. All right? So whatever version of Utthita Hasta Padangustasana, extended hand to big toe, you are doing, we've done it now on the left and the right. I'm gonna bend the knee and release the foot. Now, the second version of this pose is to take the foot around to the side. So I'm going to show that. I'm going to move this chair a little bit out of my way. I'm going to show that with no props first, and then we'll take it through the different variations that you can do. So if you can grab your big toe, you're going to grab your big toe again with your right hand, right foot, stretch the leg out in front of you. And then for hand to the big toe 2, you're going to swing that leg around to the side. And holding the pose there, lifting the chest. You can take your left hand to your left hip, trying to keep the torso straight forward and the legs straight. All right, so bending the knee and releasing the foot. Okay, so the easiest version of that big toe pose 2 is going to be to simply take the leg out to the side on the seat of the chair and loop the belt around the foot. Hold both belts with your right hand, left hand comes to your hip. And then you can go through the progression of the pose with the heel on top of the block. You can also make the pose more or less challenging by how far back to the side you take the foot. So now as I lift this foot up and take it over to the side, I am going back a little bit farther towards the line of my shoulder. Right. If you can grab the big toe or hold the foot up without support, you're going to be doing that variation. Repeat as you can. I'm going to have to move a little bit farther away from this chair for this variation. Let me show you what it looks like with maybe an extra sticky mat on the back of the chair. This also helps keep the foot in place, maybe a little bit closer. So here I can put my foot on the back of the chair and rest it here, holding on to the big toe or looping the belt. Right? And again, to make that a little bit more challenging, I would take the chair back to the side, take the foot back to the side farther. All right, so let's do whatever variation you are working on to the left side. So I'm going to show without the belt. Seated on the front of your chair, place your props where you need them on the left. Grab the big toe or loop the belt. Stretch the leg out straight. This is hand to the big toe version 1. Utthita Hasta Padangustasana 1. And now we're going to swing that leg around to the left, keeping the chest facing forward, the ribs facing forward. Utthita Hasta Padangustasana 2, hand to the big toe 2. So whatever variation of this that you're working on, doing it on the left side. And then swinging that leg back to center or coming out, bend the knee, and release the foot down. All right. Now we're going to do this pose standing. This is where you will need, you will need 2 chairs, one for the foot and one for balance. So I'm going to be using this chair for my foot. I've still got my block so I can adjust the height if needed. So I have my first chair and I'm going to put a folded sticky mat or a blanket on top of the chair so that the chair is coming securely into the wall without tipping, and I have a nice surface to put my foot on. Get rid of this for the moment. Now my second chair I'm going to be using for balance. I'm going to put it to my right side to start and no block to start. So the first version of this pose would be to step your, first we have to measure our distance from the wall. So turn to the side and place your fingertips on the wall. And this distance from your breastbone to your fingertips should be approximately the length of your leg. You'll take your right foot into the seat of the chair and then place your right foot on the back of the chair, holding on to the second chair for balance. Now, if you can't get your leg all the way up to the back of the chair, you're going to step back just a few inches and take your foot to the block. And then keeping a hold of the chair with your right hand, reach your left arm up alongside the ear. Good. And coming down and stepping out. Okay, so I'm in a corner here, so I can't move my chair to the other side. You have the option, if you have space, to move this chair for balance to your left, to do it on the left side. Again, you want to be about arm's distance away from the wall, and then you can adjust that as needed. And turn towards the chair, step into the seat of the chair, and then lift that leg to the back of the chair and rest the foot on the wall. Here, you want to be standing directly above your right foot. The 2 sides of the hips are facing the wall in front of you, and the 2 hip bones are equal distance from the floor. Then holding on to the chair with one hand, reach the other hand up alongside the ear. Good. And then bring that arm down, bend the knee, step the foot into the seat of the chair and down to the floor. Now we're going to do the version of this out to the side. So I'm going to take my chair to my left and my chair at the wall is to my right. Again, I'm about an arm's distance away from the wall. I'll step my right foot onto the seat of the chair and then take my left leg, this is my right leg, up onto the seat of the chair. Now, I just noticed that when I straighten this leg, I'm a little bit unbalanced, so I'm just going to walk my foot a little bit to the side. Apparently my legs are a little longer than my arms, to my chest. Good. Your right toes point straight up towards the ceiling. Your right knee points straight up towards the ceiling. And again, if this is too intense a stretch for you, if you can't straighten your knee, you're simply going to step a little bit farther away from the wall and place your heel on the block on the seat of the chair. And then you want to make sure that you are standing directly with a straight leg over your left ankle, and right toes, right knee pointing up towards the ceiling, chest facing forward. All right. And then coming out of that, stepping down. So I'm going to turn my back to you for this next one and explain a little bit about what's going on in the back body and the level of the hips with the second side. So now you're going to stand with your left side to the chair at the wall. Have the chair for balance to your right. Step your left foot into the seat of the chair and the leg up to the back of the chair. Adjust your distance away from the wall with a straight leg. And lift the chest, roll the shoulders back and down. So here you want the two sides of the hip to be facing the wall in front of you. And notice that this lifted leg hip may be a little bit higher than the standing leg hip. You want to release that down, trying to make the hips as level as possible. They won't be perfectly level, but you're trying to keep them as even as you can. All right. Roll the top rim of the buttock here down toward the floor. Draw the abdomen slightly back and lift up. And then to come out, you're going to bend your left knee, step into the seat of the chair, and step down. All right. So if you're not standing, again, you are just doing these variations in the chair. The next part of this sequence today is lying on the floor and doing these poses. So if you do not get down on the floor, you're simply going to keep repeating different variations of the seated version, seeing if you can go farther into that stretch of the back of the leg. So getting my chairs out of the way and finding my strap again. I'm going to lie down on the floor. All right. Have the strap that you're using if needed. And as you lie down, you're going to reach through the heels, press the thighs down. Then bend your right knee in towards your chest. Grab the big toe or the outside of the foot and stretch that leg straight up towards the ceiling. Now, if you can't reach your big toe, you're going to use your belt, stretching the arms up as high as you can towards that foot. Keep pressing the left thigh down, reaching the left heel away, and gently pull the right leg towards the head. Straight leg. And then we're going to go directly into reclined big toe pose, which is out to the side. So you're either going to hold the belt with your right hand, or you're going to hold on to the big toe or the outside of the foot. And from here, you're gonna take that right leg over to the right, keeping the left hip, the left buttock down on the floor. So you're not rolling all the way onto your side. The torso stays facing up towards the ceiling. And then bring that leg back to center. Release the foot and stretch the leg out straight. And then we'll do that on the second side. I'm going to turn around so that I don't run into the wall. So here's another variation that can be nice to do. If you're having trouble controlling the leg that's straight out on the floor, you can put your feet against a wall, and that will help ground you, keep you level, and with the toes and knee pointing straight up to the ceiling. So I'm going to lie down. On this side, I'm going to push my feet into the wall, bend my left knee, and grab the big toe or loop the belt. Stretch that leg up straight. Again, if reaching the toe is a challenge, then maybe you're going to work with the belt. I'll show with the belt on this side. Holding both ends of the belt as high as you can reach towards that foot, and keeping the right hip on the floor. You're going to bring the left leg over to the left. And I'm pressing into the wall with that right foot. Stretching through the inner groin. Breathe here. And then bring that leg back to center and release the leg down. Bend your knees and roll to the side to sit up. I'm going to close my window. Sorry, we have some gardening going on outside. So sitting either in your chair or on the floor, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back and down. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. The light in me acknowledges the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for coming to class and working on these poses with me. I hope to see you tomorrow.